Do you want to know what I discovered in order to speed up my sales cycle for my agency by 4 times? And also to increase my winning percentage by 80%. Now, before I discovered this, I was closing at 50% or less, and it was taking me anywhere from 90 to 120 days in order to close people. And what I was trying to figure out is, why is it taking someone so long in order to make a decision? And why am I not winning a high percentage? And what I realized was I was making it a hard decision for them, meaning I was pitching a $100,000 engagement or maybe a $10,000 a month retainer, and the retainer would be for a year or 2 years, which that's a big decision. It's a big commitment. It's a lot of risk, and I haven't built any trust. So what I needed to figure out was, how could I make it an easier decision? If I can make it an easier decision, then I can actually speed up the closing process, and I can actually take that down. And when I actually did this, I was actually able to close people in literally under a week, and my winning percentage went up to over 80%. Now, there's a 6-step process that worked for me. The first is defining what is my core service, my core offering that I want. Now, you might be thinking, going, well, isn't that what you were already doing? Like, you were pitching the $100,000, $200,000 engagement? Yes, we were pitching that, but you're not pitching it. We're defining this right now. Step number 2 is, what is that prospect's biggest challenge right now? Something that we can actually solve for them, or maybe some small sliver of thing that we can actually solve for them in order to build trust and to let them know that we're the trusted advisor that they're always been looking for, that we can actually help them with this problem. Step number 3 is figuring out, what can you build with the prospect in 1 hour to 2 hours? And this is key. Let me kind of zoom in here on me, right? You want to build something with the prospect in 1 hour to 2 hours that you're going to charge for. And we call this the foot in the door offer. Now, this is something that you charge a minuscule amount. It really doesn't matter what you charge here, but it's basically converting this prospect into a paying customer. And when they actually pay you for something, they're 20 times more likely to pay you again. So for example, let's say I identified, in the previous step, that the prospect's biggest challenge is around lead generation. So I would go to the prospect and say, let's meet for 1 hour to 2 hours. Let's map out your lead generation system that you're using right now. We'll map it out. Then we'll actually map out exactly what you need to do together, and then we'll decide what are the best next steps. What you're doing with this foot in the door offer is you are building trust, and you can also even let them know, hey, here are 3 possible outcomes. You'll love the plan, you'll go execute it yourself. If that's the case, I'll wish you the best of luck. Number 2, which is the most common, you'll love the plan, you'll want to work with us, and we can talk about what that looks like. Number 3, you don't like the plan, which is fine. We'll give your money back, so there's nothing for you to lose. You see how easy that is to make a decision? Like, I took out all the risk. I'm literally going to meet with them to try to solve their problem with them. If they like it, great. If they don't, I give you your money back. So you take out all that risk. Step number 4 is really naming your foot in the door offer. So in this instance, I would probably name it lead generation blueprint, or the lead generation system, right? So I would say to the prospect, hey, I'd like to meet with you for 1 hour together and go through our lead generation system and really build you a blueprint that you guys can act on to solve your lead generation problem. So you name it. Number 5, like I told you, is we need to put a price on it. And remember, price doesn't matter, right? You can even tell the prospect, look, I'm just charging you my cost here. I just want to make sure you're serious, and I'm not in it for the money, because let's say you come out really low with your foot in the door. You don't want them to associate you to low pricing. You want them to associate you to the value pricing. So you just say, hey, I'm going to give this to you at my cost. I really don't care about the money we make on this foot in the door offer or this lead generation system. And number 6, you got to make it irresistible, right? And that's what we're doing through taking that risk reversal out of them. here's the options. Here's what you're going to get. If you don't like it, I'll give your money back. If you like it, we'll talk about what's next steps. If you like it, you can actually do it. So it's irresistible to them. So if you follow these steps, you're going to close 4 times faster, and you're going to increase your winning percentage by a ton, a country mile. That's what's actually worked for me, and it's worked for all of our agency members. We've walked through, even though they fought us for a little bit to actually go and create this offering ladder where we're constantly building this. But if you do this, you're going to close deals a lot quicker. And then what you can do is in the foot in the door offer, whatever you name it, this is when you start positioning not your retainer, but another project, a bigger project. So what you're doing in the foot in the door offer is you're identifying a big challenge and you're going high level with them, right? You're only meeting with them for an hour to 2 hours. How much detail can you go in? So you're identifying all the biggest challenge or all the challenges they have. And that's when you start positioning the next engagement. So what we would do is, let's say we were helping someone out with SEO. I'd say, well, cool. I would think in my head, how long would it take me to get results for this company where they can kind of build trust? And I'd say 2 months. So I would actually do a 3-month engagement. So I would kind of name the project, whatever you would want. Same thing as the foot in the door, right? You would name it and say, well, we need to do this 3-month engagement in order to solve that. Is that something that you want? Perfect. Yes. So then you can transition to that. And then when they start seeing value and they start trusting you, from that, because you're giving them value and they're actually seeing ROI to, the services, that's when you can start positioning the retainer. So we used to position like a $5,000 a month retainer, but after doing this and changing our offering ladder, where we would do like $2,500 for the foot in the door, $15,000 for the project, now we could charge $9,000, $10,000, $15,000 a month for a long-term contract because we built trust. So if you develop your offering ladder in this way, you can close 4 times faster, you'll start building trust, and you can actually even increase your pricing. So I know I went through a lot. If you have questions, comment, but I hope that you start thinking about following this process so you can close deals a lot faster and increase your winning percentage. Love to hear your comments below. Make sure you subscribe, hit that little bell button, and until next time, have a swank day.